Hi, it's Mr. Jensen. Today I'm going to go over how to find the dew point temperature when you are given a dry bulb temperature and a wet bulb temperature. So unfortunately we're not in class. In class we would use something called the Sling Psychrometer. On a Sling Psychrometer there are two thermometers, and one of them has a cloth around it and you dip it in water and you spin it. And so the one thermometer with a cloth will have a lower temperature because it will have gone through evaporation, which releases energy into the atmosphere. And so you'll have two different temperatures. That's why they have wet bulb versus dry bulb. So in our first example, this is from the review sheet number 36 for my Google Classrooms for the assessment on Friday. We have a dry bulb temperature of 18 and a wet bulb temperature of 14. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find the difference, and we call that the wet bulb depression. So if I do 18 minus 14, I'm going to get 4 degrees Celsius. All right, so I could fill in 4 degrees Celsius. Now I have everything I need from this chart here, which is the dew point chart. So I have a wet bulb difference or depression, same thing, of 4, so I'll circle that to help myself. And I have a dry bulb temperature of 18, so I'll circle that. So the idea here is you want these two things to meet up. So I go down with my 4, and then I go over with my 18, and I got 11. So my dew point temperature was 11 degrees Celsius. That means on that given day, if the temperature of that day reaches to 11 degrees Celsius, it will start to condense. Water will condense out of the air and be liquid droplets on the ground, or maybe even rain. All right, so how do you do it with relative humidity? It's pretty much the same thing. So we said that there was a 4 degree Celsius difference, and we said the dew temperature was 11 degrees Celsius. So now we just need relative humidity, and it's the same idea. I'll go to 4, I'll go to 18, I'll go down, I'll go over. And the relative humidity of a day where the dry bulb is 18 degrees Celsius and the wet bulb is 14 degrees Celsius is going to be 64%. It's a pretty humid day. So that's just the basics versions of how to find relative humidity and dew point. You need the difference between the two temperatures, and you need the dry bulb temperature. I guess if I went one step further, you can do it backwards. These are a little bit harder. So you'll see, like, we just did number 1, and you'll check out like number 5. So here you have to work from the chart kind of like backwards. So it gives us the dew point. So I'm going to go back to the dew point. I'm going to erase this for now. So the dew point, they said, was 14 degrees Celsius. I'll do this in blue so it's different. 14 degrees Celsius, and the wet bulb was 1 degree Celsius. Or the difference is 1 degree Celsius. So up here, the difference or depression is 1, and the dew point was 14. So I go down till I get to 14. Now I go over. My dry bulb was 16 degrees Celsius. So now if the difference was only 1, then I know my wet bulb was supposed to be 15 degrees Celsius. So now I'm going to go back to the humidity because I want to find the relative humidity for here. So I'm just going to fill this out. This was 16 degrees Celsius. This was 15 degrees Celsius. We already had that given to us. So now if I go to 16 degrees Celsius for that day, because that's the dry bulb, and I go to 1 degree Celsius difference or depression, I go down here, I go over from this one, and I find that my relative humidity of that day was 90%. So it's a really humid day. The dry bulb was only 16 and the wet bulb was a mere 1 degree off at 15 degrees Celsius. So if it drops 1 degree Celsius, then it's going to be 100% relative humidity. It's probably going to be a rainy day that day. All right, if you have any questions on this, please let me know in Google comments. And thanks for watching.